Today we're going to talk about appositives. Now, an appositive is probably something that you've seen a lot of in writing and in reading, and you might have even used it before, you just didn't know what it's called. But overall, it's a really clever way to add details that your readers need to know in order to make sense of your story. An appositive gives a definition for a noun or a pronoun that comes directly in front of it. It's a way of defining something. And a positive has a comma right in front of it and right after it. And an appositive is not necessary for the sentence to make sense. It's just extra information. So what this means is if you cover your hand over the appositive in your sentence and read the sentence around it, it still makes sense and has all of the necessary information and still works grammatically. So let me show you what this looks like. Here's some examples. My best friend Lauren lives 2 hours away. Lauren is the appositive here. You'll notice that Lauren is defining my best friend. Who is my best friend? Oh, Lauren. It has a comma right before it. It has a comma right after it. And if I took it out, if I just ignored my appositive, my sentence would still make sense. It would say, my best friend lives 2 hours away. So in this sentence, the appositive just gives us some extra information, a nice little detail that my reader might need to know. Let's look at the second one. My daughter Georgia wants to be a fairy godmother for Halloween. My daughter, Georgia is the appositive, wants to be a fairy godmother for Halloween. Again, you don't need to know her name in order to make sense of the sentence, but it's a really nice detail. It's extra information that's helpful to my readers. It helps you get to know my story better, right? If I say, my daughter wants to be a fairy godmother, it's not quite as personal as saying my daughter Georgia wants to be a fairy godmother. You can also do it as, a phrase more than just one word. So in the third example, my favorite class, Reading Writing Workshop 9, meets in D1. Reading Writing Workshop 9 is giving a definition of my favorite class. What is my favorite class? It's Reading Writing Workshop 9. Comma right in front of it, comma right behind it. I could take it out and it would still make sense. And last but not least, the chief surgeon, an innovator in the field of heart transplants, meets with her on Tuesday. So this is giving a more detailed definition. Who is the chief surgeon? Well, he is an innovator in the field of heart transplants. I don't need this in my sentence. I could just say the chief surgeon meets with her on Tuesday. But the fact that the surgeon is an innovator in the field is a nice extra bit of information that would help my reader. So as you're working on your piece, think about where could I add a little definition that would let you know someone's name, that would let you know a detail about them that's interesting, and that would help you understand the story better.